Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome for today's webinar. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Norman, and today VLAN's going to be presenting you the webinar on Can Teams Help Me Automate Stuff? Yes, I know everyone's caught up at home, worried about the COVID-19 virus going around. The numbers are increasing. We don't really know what's going on, right? Whether the government's going to make a decision on having another lockdown. So I guess we have more time for us to learn on how to use the system at home as well as automate things and work from home, right? So for today's session, we have Pranav, who is our senior system support engineer, to actually share with us on how we can actually use Teams to help us automate and automate solutions to conduct collaboration work anytime and anywhere. We have exactly what you're searching for. So Pranav is going to show you how we actually use Team to automate, like, for example, this webinar as well. We've actually automated some processes whereby when you sign up through our Microsoft Forms, you will actually receive an email automatically sent out by the system, which we automated, and when it comes an hour before the event, there will be an email sent out, and 15 minutes before the event, there will be another email sending out reminding you that the event is going to take place. So yeah, those are things that we can actually do just by using Microsoft Teams. If you're on Teams, you can actually do that. So today, Pranav is going to share with you a little bit more on what are the things that we can actually do with Microsoft Teams and help us automate stuff. Right, Pranav, it's to you.
Yep, thanks, Norman. Hello, hi everyone. All right, so as you guys know, we are usually on Teams on our tips and tricks and on a lot of tips usually, but this time it's a bit tips on how to automate stuff, right? So let me share my screen first of all. Right, Norman, can you just confirm you can see my screen?
Yep.
All right, cool. All right. So I think you guys are much familiar on this URL, right? Office.365 portal.office.com, right? Where it comes to the homepage of the 365, right? And you have all these applications, right? And so the things we are going to talk about today, how can you use Teams to do some automation, right? As what Norman does now, he explained that even today's webinar is actually we have automate tasks has been going on in the backend, right? So before we start directly on go to Teams, right? We the automate task actually has to be done from a tool called Flow, right? It's actually changed name, right? Now they changed from Flow to become a Power Automate, right? This is the icon where you looks that. It's free usually for all the 365 license comes, but if you have more advanced automation needs to be done, then it comes back to the subscription based level, right? You can actually purchase that. But let me open that, show you how does the UI actually look like, right? Right. So they even changed the icon now recently, right? It's to look the new way of every icon now. So if you immediately when you start here, you kind of looks there are like tiles and tiles here, right? And you can see a lot of things going on. And what is the benefit using this, right? There's no coding involved, right? That's the best part of using Power Automate. It's just not limit on Teams, right? So it covers all the platform, whichever. So there are around 400. If you can see, let me just zoom that. Right, you can see that more than 400 application can be automated over here. So even Dropbox, Twitter, right? It's not just it doesn't meant to just do 365 application. They actually open for third-party application as well, right? Even Slack is there, right? It's a competitor of Microsoft, but they even build Slack for automation. So it's not limit for just Microsoft application. So that's a cool thing about that, right? So before I jump in to show what are the tasks and flow, not tasks, sorry for that, automate system that I've already integrated in my list here to demo you guys. Before doing that, just let me just show you, right? The moment you're going to click home, right, you're going to come back this page, right? And you was wondering, what can I automate here? So you have to take your application level first. So in this event, I'm going to take Teams as my things that I wanted to do automation, right? So again, just click on Teams, search for it, and you can see that they are almost like there are more than 100 if I'm not mistaken, right? But if I'm not mistaken, because I don't see the count here, but yeah, there's almost a lot of things going on. So you can actually look based on what you want to achieve here to automate your task in Teams. From there, you can actually select one of it and customize that. So I'll actually walk through you the things that I've actually taken to use on Teams. That is really helpful, right? There are a lot of things here that you can integrate, but I've taken 4 of it. That is kind of interesting and kind of useful in every day, right? And that's the idea here today. So let's go to my flow. So the moment you're going to click, let me just show you a demo here first before I'm going to talk to my Power Automate that I've already created. So if you can look at here, so any task has been created in the planner is going to navigate and automate that in Teams to show you in Teams, right? So the moment you're going to select this, one of the tile, it's going to show you a brief on that, right? So post a message on Microsoft Teams when a new task is created. So it give you a brief what it's going to do, right? Click on continue. And it comes a dashboard where you can actually start building your Power Automate. Right, hang on a second, still loading. Let me just try once again. I think it's a loading issue. Let me check that. Right, it takes a longer time. It's okay. Let me go to my flow first. Let me just show how does it actually looks, right? Meantime, let it load that. Is there any service health issue going on with Microsoft? Let me just check that, because the automation works 24/7 based on your schedule. But in order for you to use that, sometimes Microsoft have some service alerts going on. Maybe there's some interruption on their side. Let me just confirm that. Nope, there's no related to that. Right, looks it's not loading. No changes. Let me just try it on another browser. Hang on a second. Sorry for that. All right, cool. I think there's a browser issue here. Maybe it's a catch. Let me just reshare my screen again from another browser. Right. So if you can see here now, right, I'm still going back on the same page, right? So the moment you're going to click any flow, right, it's going to come up with something like this, right? And yep, so that's the template is predefined by Microsoft. So what you have to do here is you have to select where do you want to point to the Teams group, right? So in this event, I'm going to focus on the sales and marketing, right? And I want them to do some automation on their Teams channel, right? So when there's something's happen, then this triggers up on your Teams. So the idea here is it's automate triggers. So when this kind of activity happens, right, and this triggers has happened on your teams. Right. So I have selected sales and marketing in this event, right? So we can see here there's things bought flow is actually doing that. So let me just show you one of the flow which I've created here, right? Sorry, my flow. So the first flow I'm going to discuss today, which I've tell you just now, there's 4, right? So I'm going to talk about welcome new member in Teams, right? So why is this so useful here is let's say you have a member who's joined in your organization, right, and you include him in the sales and marketing, and obviously you want to welcome to your entire organization of the sales and marketing group, give him a welcome message and kind of this, right? So in this event you can actually select this, right? You can actually let me just show you that what are the event on this time. Right, there's no template for this dashboard, right? There's no predefined by Microsoft at the moment. So this task is created by me from scratch. So how do you do that? It's just simple, as easy as well, right? Just start from your teams here. So even if you don't find your task, it's not predefined here, right? Teams which I've told you just now, it's not a matter, right? You can create your own custom layout actually. So that's the best one. So you can actually start automatic flow, right? So give it a name like Teams, right? And your idea here is to Teams, right? Post a message or remove a user. So you have all these things happening here. So you can actually select when a team member is removed or added, right? So this is what I've created actually. So the moment I'm going to create. So yeah, that's where it comes back here. So this is how I did, right? So when there's a new member has been added, right? And obviously you have to do some task here. So bear in mind, there's no coding here. That's the best part here. You can just start customizing. So when a team is added in your group, then of course you're going to notify to a channel group, right? So you have to notify to a channel. So click on teams, right? And select channel. Just search for channel. Right. Yep. So we can do a post like a kind of a it's called as an adaptive card. What is adaptive card here is it gives you a view like something like this, right? Can you see that? So it's kind of like a box. Usually when you text a message, you some kind of looks like a text message, right? When it's an adaptive card, it actually gives you in a card format to do that. So if this is the task which I've created. So the moment I've added a user, Brian Johnson, into this channel, right, and to the group, he's been automation task has been actually sent directly, right, and to welcome a message to the users, right? And so is it kind of cool, right? It does by everything it's default. So the moment new user has been added and these things are actually happen. So if you can see here, right, what I've done here is sales team user ID, right? So we can see that when a new teams member has been added in sales and marketing, get a mention. So add his name here, right? And post a message in a Flowbot channel. So that's what I mean. So post a channel in a Flowbot and type what's the message you wanted to describe that and save it. So the moment you're going to add a member here, right? Obviously to add member, you can manage team, right? Add member. So I've added a member, right? It takes some time, right? The flow doesn't take place immediately, right? It takes at least a few seconds, right, to trigger these things happening. So we can see here, I've done all these tests. If you can see here, the time, what time is it actually? I've even tested 1 hour ago, right, to make sure everything on the live event it works well, right? So let's wait that, right? We will come back there because it may take some time for us to trigger that. All right, so we can see here is 114, right? So let's wait for time being in order for us to see that result here. So I've actually added Adeli, right? And he might Flow will actually do a automation here and actually post here in few minutes, right? So let's give the task to be take place, right? Then we will come back to this point. Right, let's go to the next flow which I've created, right? So start approval on new document and notify to teams. So this is really useful, right? So this is the original template. When you click on here, right, it actually show This is a template which I've actually used. Start approval for new document and notify via Teams. So what's the idea here is when someone try to add a document right in your SharePoint, and you want to get a notified your team members in the Teams. So that's something cool, right? You have like a reporting things going on and every month, and you have to review that before you're going to upload that into your SharePoint. And let's say there are 600 employees in your organization and they're trying to upload a 7 file in a one time, and you might never know that there's a duplicate event happening, or why are there 7 same folders and files and there, right? In that event, I'm going to create this kind of a situation. So I want an approval where the approval has to take note what is who's actually trying to upload a file. I will review the file, and I have two options: either I approve or I reject them. All right. So that's the flow is going to be done here. So that's what I've created. As usual, I'm going to click continue. And the moment you're going to click continue, you will end up coming to this page, which I've already created. The reason why I didn't do a demo over here itself, right? Because if you can see here, the things that which I've actually added in the group just now, it still doesn't take place, right? It takes some time, and obviously it needs some 1 or 2 minutes. We have to wait. So I don't want to waste the time over waiting on the live event, right? So that's the event. That's the case I've actually added in previously to show you guys how does this work. So let me just show you. If you can see here, it's the same way. It looks a bit complicated the first time. When you already start working on it, it's really easy, right? So what happened is I'm actually telling that when a file is created, right, in this sales and marketing under document, right, under document folders, and under the report, monthly report. So what I mean here, let me just show you guys over here. There's a general here. I'm going to click open the SharePoint file. Let me make it easy for you guys to view as well. What am I actually talking? Right, I have general here, right? Document. So if you can see here, I'm actually referring to sales and marketing here, right? This is sales and marketing, and I'm really looking for document library where it's actually stated here document, right? And the next flow here is I'm selecting the folder, which is monthly report file, which is the file, monthly report file. Sorry for that. Right. So this is the file I'm actually targeting here. So what is the idea here is when someone upload to this file, right, post me in a Teams. So my idea here is I want, if someone upload in the SharePoint, right, I want them to post a thing that a file has been uploaded, something like this. Let me just show you that. So you can see that hi team, moderator admin have added a new file. So that's what I'm actually reviewing in that, right? So so I want that file, the moment that someone uploaded a file, I want a notification to be posted in Teams in the channel. So if you can see here, I'm actually selecting Teams and the channel. So if you can see here, Teams and the channel here, monthly report file. So I've actually targeted to that, right? And you can actually create what you wanted to default to show that in your display here. If you can see here, it's actually showing all this, right? You might look at this as a coding, right? But this script was created by default the moment you create a flow, right? So I didn't do any changes over here. That's the best part. So you can actually change this. Please review the file and approve as up, right? So you can actually change all these things, and you can even add you find it you do not need a display name, then remove the user who actually uploaded. But in this case, I need to know who's actually uploaded this file. So yeah, that's where I put it. Right, the next thing here is start approval. So once the file has been uploaded, right, and who's going to review that, and who's going to approve or deny or reject that particular file. So obviously you're going to add the user here, or you can actually add a group as well. So if you get a group of approval, just put approval group here, and that will actually find you. Put the example here, right? If I'm going to put Adili here, so you can see that I'm actually looking for him. So if you can even search a group, security group, right? You a bunch of 5 people in the group, you can actually add them directly over here. Yep, so details which I've actually wanted here, I've actually listed here what are the things I wanted to be shown, right, for the as approval. I'm going to show you guys how does the approval looks like. All right, so bear with me on that. Right, so what all these things happen, that this is the things that really takes place, all right. So if I'm going to approve it, right, what's going to take place? So if it's approved, yes, if yes, then yeah, the file is uploaded and I get the teams actually post comment that the file is actually uploaded successfully, right, with a comment, right? So I'm going to type a comment and it's going to show that in the Teams as well. So if you're confused, don't worry, I'm going to show you as a demo here, so just bear with me on that. So if it's going to be reject, I mean, if I'm going to click on reject on the approval part, so what's going to do, it's going to tell that the file is rejected, right? What this is the best thing, right? This is actually, I've created this task here. So the moment I'm rejected, I want the file to be removed from the SharePoint as well. So because there's no point if I'm not deleting the file when I'm not rejecting, right? So if the file has been rejected, the file is supposed to be removed from the SharePoint as well. So that's the idea here, and notify them through an email that the things has been rejected. All right, so to the notify who is actually uploaded. So if in this event, Pranav is actually uploading a file, and my manager has rejected, and I receive an email stating the attachment has been rejected. Kindly review it. All right, so you can actually modify your email templates. Reject file which you have uploaded, and review them again. Right, so yep, so I'm going to click save here, right? So let's see whether the flow is already started. No, it's not there. Right, so things are there, right? What I'm going to do here is in order for me to go in to run the script, right, that what I've showed just now for ideally when I did, I can actually do a test now, right, and I can show immediately the result now. So let's do a test now itself. I'm going to do a test here, right? So if you can see here, the flow actually shows you what it's going to do now, right? So yep, it pretend that the file has been uploaded in the SharePoint Shell Marketing. It already posts, right? Let's see whether the post is there, right? Right, it's 2:22. You can see that. This is the time now. So hi team, MOD added a new file, August report, to review the file and approve as soon as possible, right? So this gets to that notification to the Teams channel, and the same time, all right, as an approval, I will get an email as well. So I can actually click on my Outlook here. Yep. Right. Right, it looks something like this, right? So you can you see that? So as an approval, right, this is where the manager actually gets an email. So whether you can actually approve or reject of the file. You can even actually add the attachment here itself, but in this demo I have not done that, right? But obviously you can integrate that. So there's this FYI, you can actually add the attachment itself here. So I can have two options here, whether I approve or reject in this event, right? So that if I'm going to reject the file will no longer there in the SharePoint under this, it will be deleted. And if I'm going to approve it, yeah, that file is going to be uploaded into the SharePoint. So that's the idea here. So and once it's done, it'll actually post that the comment which I've already entered. So let's put it reject, right? Please update the column for in the Excel, right? I'm sorry. So before I'm going to do this, right, you can actually does this approve and reject from Microsoft Teams as well, right? So you might think, hey, why am I suddenly jumping on Outlook, right? So what you have to do here is, in order to see the things to approve and reject, right, you have to go under flow, right? And you have the same thing which you have received on your email. You can actually see it in your Teams itself. So it does not need to open your Outlook, right? In this event, I'm actually looking at Teams to approve or reject it. You might wonder how these things appears here, right? So you have to go on your application, right? Search for flow, right? And yep, click on install. Right, in this event already installed, so that's the why you can see open. So yep. So the cool thing here is actually can approve it over here itself, right? So let's do it on Teams from even I'm going to reject from the Teams, right? I'm going to close here, right? I'm going to reject. Let's copy the same comment which I've typed just now. Right, confirm. So going back to the flow, right? It's still waiting for my approval. Can you see that? It still shows a yellow color icon here, right? And you can see that your flow is successful, right? And it shows that, yep, it's successful. It shows a green tick. That means it's a successful in this event. Obviously, it's not going to show yes because I've actually rejected. So in this event, it's going to show a green mark over here. What happened here is, let's go back to the channel again. So what is the message I'm going to get is, yep, can you see that? Mode has rejected your file, right? Please update the column for indexes. So that's what I've actually comment in before I'm rejecting that. And I'm even getting that rejection, right? So in this event, obviously the manager won't get this. Who's the uploader, right? Who's actually uploading this file or created the file will get this email. So can you get the idea here is that everything is actually automated, right? So I'm not doing anything. Once I've created the script here, right? Codeless script, and it does everything by itself, right? So in this event, can you see that the August file is no more there because I told them the flow to remove the file if it's been rejected. So you no longer have the file. So the uploader has to be to review the file and upload it again. So that's the idea here. All right. That's the flow of that. Let me see why that doesn't works. Right, ideally is still not there. Maybe let's have a look on that. What happens here? So obviously you need some time here on testing, but I'm not sure why the trigger doesn't works here. But my opinion, usually it takes 1 or 2 minutes to run. But if it doesn't run, then just go back again and have a look, right? In this event, it doesn't work. Let me just do a testing again, right? The same what I've done. Let's do a test now, right? I'm just selecting that. Right. So let's see whether the flow is working fine. So if there's any error, obviously it's going to show a red mark here X, and it'll give you a prompt, a message here. What can be help you to resolve this issue? Right. Let's go back to here. So if you can see here, obviously I'm actually testing back Brian's name. So this is how it actually looks. Eddie Lee was still not coming in. Right. Let's do a test again. Right, let me try to add a new user if I can. Let's see. Not sure whether this user is already part of the group. Yeah, this is part of the group. Most of the users are already part of the group. Right. So I think you guys have the idea, right? So there's a new member added, you'll get notified directly over here. Right. All right. So there's some form errors here, right? It's okay. That's what I'm going to go on the next. All right. So apologize for that. I have to check back on the new members adding, but it was working fine. It was just for this demo, it's not working. Right. So the idea here is to add members. I already talked, and approval for your SharePoint upload. Right. You can actually approve from your email and Teams directly. Right. The third thing, forms respond notify through Teams and email. So this is something which VLAN use, right? That's actually I'm doing a demo here itself. So what template am I actually using here? Let me show you that. So again, is that track your Microsoft form response in Excel and notify through Teams and email, right? So you can have the brief here, right? So the moment you're going to select this, you're going to end up coming to this flow here, right? Right. So what happened here is I've actually created a form here. So make sure you have to create a form here in this event, right? I already created a form here. I've actually used the same template. Can Teams help to automate stuff, right? Which you guys already submitted to join to today's event, right? So you have to come up and apply all this information here, right? So so I'm like, well, how does the backend actually works? And VLAN does not do anything. We're just going to send you a link, and everything goes back when you're receiving in the email, and all the information about you, everything's been automated. So let's see what am I actually talking about. So when there's a new response, right, on this flow, right, I'm actually collecting the details of it, right, the response ID. And this is the best part. All the information I'm actually tracking down in the SharePoint in an Excel file, right? Let me just show you what's the Excel file I meant here. Let me go back to document, right? I will create a file here, right, in an Excel file. I've just created a call form list, right? And I've actually added all this information here, right? So what are the information I've actually added here, right? I've actually added here. So bear me in minute, this information was not added by me. It was added by Power Automate by itself, right? I'll show you now in a demo as live as well, right? I'm going to open it as another user, and I'm just going to type their name, and let's see how does it actually going to populate here, all right? So all the users information I have to track down in Excel file so that I know who's actually joining, and right then I'll actually post a notification, right, in sales and marketing under general, requesting for more info. So you can actually you type anything on the message to notify that someone new register, right? So that makes sense, new register, right? So you can actually put a Teams here to notify the Teams that someone has registered to our new event, right? Upcoming event, right? And this is where the things happen, automate. So all these things happen the moment you create I mean, sorry, the moment you're going to apply a form here, right? You're going to submit a form to VLAN, right? That form is actually take place, and actually added all the information in Excel, and it posts in Microsoft Teams, and it will send an email to you, right? All these things happening. So please take note the registration. That's what I'm actually mentioning here. I'm actually just copying the email template. I just paste it here for just a demo purpose. So all these things will happen immediately when someone submit your form here. So let's put a let me share it. I'm going to copy. So this is how a user is going to open it, right? I'm going to give it a name like Sam, right? Organization. Let's do test, right? My email address, of course, let it put the same email address of the admin, right? So that I can show you the Outlook. How does they receive the email? How many? 5. I'm going to say Facebook. Do you like to? Yes, right. I'm going to click submit here, right? Let's see the flow here, right? Whether it's already take place. So let's wait a moment. So 2:23:7. Yep. So the trigger is already take place, right? Can you see that? It's not even 3 seconds. So yeah, let's go on Teams channel first. Is there any post? Yeah, we have a post here. Form list requested for more info. Requesting more info for Sam. So I think that's the template I've actually added here, right? So can you see that the form actually created? Let's go to the Excel file. Can you see that Sam was added? Previously you was not able to see that. Just now you can only see Pranav and John, but now can you see that Sam was added by automatically? And what does Sam get? Sam will receive an email something like this. Right. Hello Sam, please take note the following registration are incomplete. Kind of this template was just created for a demo, so sorry if I'm it's supposed to be completed here. Right, so can you get the idea here? So all the 5 things which was happening here just now, right? It was within 7 seconds. That time is just thick, right? I don't think so we can do that in 7 seconds to post in Teams, send an email to user, get the details and upload them in SharePoint. That's not capable to do by a human by in 7 seconds. We need the automation stuff to be done that, right? And if you can click on open on the rules, right? The one which is already run, you can actually even click that to see if there's any error. If there's any error, obviously it shows here there's an error, but in this event, can you see all 5 are green tick? So user submitted, we get the details on the Excel, we post in Teams, and the user gets the email, right? So this is what VLAN is doing when you guys registered a event. So we actually demoing you guys on so that you guys can use the same way of how VLAN is actually using it. Right, we have already talked all this string. This is a similar way, right? This is the exact way of how SharePoint document library, when someone upload a file, whether approve or reject, the same goes. You can do. It's not. I mean, as I told you, there's no limit on this Power Automate, right? You can even do a SharePoint list. So what I mean here is let's go back to SharePoint here, right? Let's go to approval tracking. So there's a platform called list, right? Let me just show what is list before I'm going to start explaining you guys. So if you already see Share 365, you can actually have a list which in yellow, kind of 4 to 5 colors, right? List is kind of like a inventory, right? You can actually keep track all your assets and all these things. There are a lot of templates here which you can actually create. What's your idea? Issue tracker, work progress, and all these things. So for this demo, right, I've actually created a form. I've actually created a list in the SharePoint. All right, let's go back to the list. So we can see here, I'm actually keep tracking all the devices in my inventory in the SharePoint. So there's I can keep track of the details of it, right? And I can even do a approval tracking. All right, so let's giving an example. When someone added a task, right, in the list on the SharePoint, as an approval, you have the capability to see whether do we need a tracking for this or no, right? So it's kind of the same idea like how you upload a file in SharePoint, but it's in a different way, right? List is there. So as I told you, list is like inventory. So if someone add an inventory and the inventory goes to approval and he has to review it, if he's find that, hey, this inventory is supposed not to be in approval, is supposed to be in product list, right? You can reject them. So if you can see here in the status, I'm actually approving that, right? So that's the idea here. So that's the flow which I've created here, right? Let me close down all this so that I don't confuse. Right, let's go back to the SharePoint, right? So let me show you back what are the things actually happening on the back end, the automate flow. So yep, these are the 7 things. Bear in mind, this SharePoint list I've actually created from scratch. So I don't see any template there, but I've created by my own. So if you're really kind of confused, how do I create? You can actually watch back this video, because this video is going to be uploaded in YouTube, either way in VLAN YouTube channel, right? So you can actually take a look how I actually created this, right? And SharePoint list to get an approval or reject from Microsoft Teams. So if you can see here, if someone create a list in the share and marketing under approval tracking, right? I'm actually putting a string here to variables, right? So what happened here is when the things happen, right? I'm actually creating a approval, same as what I've done for SharePoint upload files. The same way, right? And I'm actually putting a stop here, right? Make sure you put a post, right, in the Microsoft Teams. So once this is done, you have approve or reject option as how you have in the Teams. So let's do a test here, right? Let's do a demo live test here. All right, that makes easier for you. So I'm going to create a list here, computer. Right. So obviously you need to, so the moment you have to save an requirement here in your tracking, right, you have to put an approval here. So in this approval, I'm going to add my admin, which is my manager, right? Assuming that I'm going to put a status. I know status doesn't need, because that's not your part of it. So your item here is just the title what you have, but you can actually add your, based on, you can put your serial number, your RAM, hard disk. You can actually create a bunch of things, right? for this demo, I've just created a title here. I'm going to click save, right? So you can see here when the moment is created, there's no approve option here, right? And as a user, they do not have the option to approve it. They can't approve by themselves, right? So that actually goes back to the approval of the manager to take place to approve or reject. So let's see whether the task has been take place. All right, I think we have to wait for this as well. But if it doesn't take place, it's okay. We can do a test, immediate test, right? So we can click that, click a test. I'm going to perform a test, right? Oh, cool. It's running, looks like. Okay, let's see. Yep, can you see that? It's actually showing running. Let me just zoom that a bit to you guys so they can see that. You guys can see that it's actually running that. So if you can click on the link here and you find it, hey, why is it still running instead, right? And the moment you click, you can see that it's actually waiting for my approval. So I have two options here. As I told you, I'm going to back to my Outlook, right? As I approval, just imagine I'm the manager in this event. So I have the option that, hey, someone have created a computer task, right, on the SharePoint. So I have option to approve or reject, right? And but in this event, just imagine it does not open Outlook. Let's go back to my Teams. So you can see that in this event, Flow actually alerts me. The reason why here is based on my rule, I will actually tell the rule that please alert me when there's these things happening, right? So you can actually even do a alert so that you get a notification on Teams. So I'm going to click on Flow, right? If you can see here now, it's a bit different now. It's not under approval, it's under chat, right? So you have multi-way of doing it. So either you go in approval, right? But in this event, I did not put approval because I customize that for approval. I do it in a SharePoint for upload files, right? But you can even do that for this SharePoint list. But what if there's multi-way to do that? So I just wanted to have a cool dashboard here, right, where it shows exactly like the email, right? So I have option to approve or reject. So it kind of another platform where I can have a flow actually in alerting me in Microsoft Teams. So I'm going to click approve here, right, in this event, right? And let's go back to the flow. Let's wait. So it's actually waiting for my approval. So since I already click, I hope I've already clicked. Oh, I have to comment it. Sorry. Great. Submit. So I have submitted. So you can see that flow is actually completed. Yep, and the list, the last part was I have to update back the list as approval. All right, so if you can see, let me refresh that. Can you see that? Now it's been approved. So this is the things can be automated. So there's a lot of things can be automated here. This is this example which I've taken, right? So the reason why I've taken the 4 is that's kind of useful because you can't limit people from uploading files. So in order for you to track people's uploading a lot of files, that's the only way here is you have to, rather than you keep sitting and looking at who's actually uploading the SharePoint every day and every night, you can actually do a automate flow here, and that flow Power Automate actually notify to you whenever this trigger happens. So these are the 4 things which I've explained to you. So yeah, as I've told you, you can actually explore a lot of things, right? And you can even start up from scratch. So in this event, you can even do for OneDrive and Outlook. So our priority here is today's demo here is more on Teams, right? And I encourage you guys to log into 365 and go to Flow with the blue icon here, Power Automate, that's the name. And if you can see, the flow name is still exists here because that's the first name was given for this application. Now they changed to Power Automate. But yeah, you can see all these things happening when there's you can even do a personal alert to yourself, right? So there's a lot of things going on. All these templates are actually added by Microsoft. And in this event, if you can see here, the flow which I've created, this is the flow. So if you find that the flow is not there, you can actually do it from scratch, right? Automate from blank, right? So in this event, I've actually created a SharePoint list and team member as a from scratch. So again, what you can do, you can actually save this as a template, right? So that next time in any of your organization who wants to try this template, they can actually use the same template for their team groups, right? So this Power Automate was created for sales and marketing only. What if the another team who is finance team would like to have the same idea to be performed? So yeah, you can actually submit as a template, right? And give it a name. The moment you give it a name and you choose that, it's going to be available on your flow here, right? So any people in your organization who will able to access your flow here. Yeah, but you can even see that your approve and reject are actually available on your flow itself, not just Outlook Teams. It actually appears on your flow in your Microsoft Flow Power Automate as well. Doesn't stop there. If you already have a Play Store, if you already have a mobile, right? If you're iOS, Android, you can actually install Power Automate on your mobile, right? And it get notification from your mobile. So it doesn't mean that you have to be 24 hours sitting on your computer and to review this approve and reject. You can actually do that from your mobile itself, right? So yeah, make sure you have to install Microsoft Power Automate from iOS or Play Store. So when there's something triggers, that will get to your notification to your mobile, and just simple as that, just unlock your phone and just approve or reject. Right. Yeah. So that's all for today's demo. Right. I hope you guys learn a lot. So just start exploring on it, and if you guys stuck anything, obviously you can engage us on that. Right. Back to you, Norman.
Hi, hey, thanks a lot, man, Pranav. That's really good. So now we come to the session of Q&As. If you have any questions, just drop them in the Q&A section and we'll take them right now. So I'll give you some time to put it in there. Yeah, Pranav, it's I recall when you talk about automation, right? It sometimes some people don't resonate with that term automation, right? They think
Correct.
it's automatic or something you do with some program and stuff like that, right?
Correct.
So yeah, I remember when I was in school and my teacher told me, like, when I asked the question, what is automation? And he said that, when you turn when you click the switch, the button on the switch, right?
Mhm.
And the light turns on, that's already an automation, you know. The switch communicating to the light bulb, it's already considered an automation, So
Correct.
it doesn't need to be a computer. It's just a simple thing as that. But the interesting part is with computers, we used to have to do programming. So we need a programmer to do all these automation processes. But now with technology, right, the processes are all there already. So you just need to look and understand like what you want automated, and you just like click on the system and put the automation in the process flow, which is already created by Power Automate as well. So it's not very difficult to do an automation. It's just understanding what you want to do. Like for example, if you want to submit a form using Microsoft Form, right, and getting a response through email, you just need to go to Power Automate and look for the icon, the form icon. Click on that, and look for the email icon, click on that, and then start your automation, right? And then it just communicates to each another. It's that easy to
Correct.
create your own flow, your process flow, right?
Exactly.
And it's not just that. What it does for you is that when you demonstrated just now, the when somebody fills up the form,
Mhm.
it doesn't just respond by sending out an email. It actually picks out the fields which is in the form, like for example the name, right? The name in
Yep.
there, and it puts it in the email. So even that simple task of getting that name from the form and putting it and customizing the email to say hi Pranav, thank you for your response, right? it's
Yep.
it's already preset in the system for you. So all those things are there. You just need to know what you want to do with the automation and create it,
Exactly. So
right?
I mean, the idea here is it's no longer require coding now. So because when they say automation,
Yes,
usually they come in mind that where hey, I do not know coding, right? And
exactly.
yeah, so that's the idea here. Microsoft is actually moving most of the application codeless so that everyone can start using it without depending on any developers or any
Yes,
senior
and
people.
and with that option, you don't need to buy different softwares to do your automation. All you need to
Exactly.
do is just explore the Power Automate and look at the system and ask yourself what you want the system to do.
All right.
It's so simple. Okay, let's take some questions.
Yeah.
Kelly asked, how do you create a reminder email to be sent out at a specific time?
All right. It doesn't. So flow doesn't need to be done then, right? Because there's some application can does that directly from your Outlook. Uh, Obviously you can do that in flow as well, right? But what I can see, because usually I have that idea to like a delay sending email. So
Mm.
tomorrow it actually send the email by itself at 3 p.m, right?
Yes.
You can actually does that from Outlook itself by installing Bloomberg. That's the application name, right? It's actually integrated in your 365 Play Store. So you can actually open your Outlook, right? And search for apps on top, right? Or in your Outlook there's a store icon on your Outlook on top, so you can actually search from Bloomberg. You can actually install the app as add-ons, right? So the moment you install it, you give you an customization, right, where you can actually select your time, create a reminder based on the time when you want to this send out this entire email on this particular time. So it is possible. Obviously flow is possible as well, but you have to just look for that particular things. So in this event, it's Outlook, and you have to look for the template. If it's not there, then you have to create. But what I can see, it's already a predefined app. It's been already created as a Bloomberg, so you can actually utilize that application. Yeah.
How do you spell that, Pranav?
Let me just check that. Let me get that. Let me open my Outlook. Mm, on a second. It's still loading from my end.
While you're doing that, when we created the process flow for our webinar invites as well, there is what you call it, there is one process flow in there which is called a delay unit. So the delay unit actually allows us to set the delay time for us to send out reminder emails to our participants. So by putting in the delay unit, you can actually pre-program the process flow to send out the emails with a delay as well. So in the process flow, you just need to look for delay unit.
Right. It's called Boomerang. Sorry for that. It's called
Okay.
Boomerang actually. Right. Let's
Boomer,
rank. Yeah, you can actually install this application directly from the web. Let me
right.
search that Boomerang for. So yeah, this is the icon. I think Kelly is still in the call, if I'm not mistaken. So
Right.
yep. So Boomerang is in Outlook. So what you can do here, you can actually Outlook add-ins. You can install this as add-ins, right? It actually give you a video so how you can use that. So you can actually utilize this rather than using automate, because you can even use that, but I mean it's already add-on, so you do not need to
Buy a
create
new
your
ad.
flow here. Yep. Right.
Cool.
So
Right. And then we have uh, Stephen that who is asking, can we create a channel for an external user example a vendor outside of our organization and assign the task? Is
yeah,
that
of course.
possible to be
Yeah,
done?
of course. You are possible because the automate actually relies on the application, so it doesn't matter whether it's external or internal, right? The flow is actually dependent on what application are you using. So in this event, teams or channel of full of guest people, right. Let me have a look whether is there any guest people in my organization over here. Supposed to be a one user here is a guest. Let me have a look. So yeah, there's a guest user if I'm not mistaken. So if you can see here, right, Henry is a guest, this member. So it's regardless whether it's guest or internal user, you can actually do Teams or Power Automate to the channel. So it shouldn't be a problem on that.
Right. So it also depends on what he wants to use the what do you call it, assign the task. How do
Correct.
you want to use it, right? So
Correct. Correct.
it's whether you want to send out an email reminder or whether you want to send out a Teams message, or you just want them to fill up a form, right?
Yeah.
So if they
Correct.
want to fill up a form, they can just use you can just program Microsoft Form to, and use Microsoft Forms and use Power Automate to automate the process of sending out the reminders via email to you and also to the vendor, right?
Yep, you're right.
That can be done as well. Yeah. Right. So I guess that's all the time we have for today for Q&As for now. Is there any last words that you want to share with the audience today?
As I told, I just explore yourself, right, to flow. You might start for the first two side. You might a bit confused how does the flow works, right? But after it does some testing on it, just one or twice or three times, and in some case, if it's failed, then it's failed. Then you can actually click on it, review them, and you can actually start fixing it. So it's not so hard, right? It's everything codeless here. All these things are actually inputting here is just the template here. So just start testing out, that's all.
Right. Yeah. So the main idea is that you need to explore the system and see what you want to use the process flow for.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's like you mentioned 100 over process flows in there. So it's like I even Google and see they say there's about 250 over process flows in there that you can actually use to automate your processes. Yeah, it just depends on what you want to use it for. Even you can use it for social media as well. I noticed there was like
Yeah, you can even use for
what do you call this
Twitter.
thing? Twitter and stuff
Yeah.
in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's so many. You should explore it and see there's so many possibilities on how you can automate your processes. Right. So that's all the time we have. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have other questions or inquiries that you want us to help you with, we are here. You can drop us an email or you can contact us via WhatsApp, and we will be glad to help you out if you have questions on how to automate your flows and processes. At the same time, do help us scan the QR code that is displayed on the screen currently, and drop us your feedback on webinars or topics that you want to have more learnings and understandings on. And yeah, stay safe, guys. Stay at home, work from home if you are, time being. Stay safe and have a good week ahead. We'll catch you again next week for the next webinar. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.